Hello, welcome back to my Thoughtful Thursdays video channel where we talk about important topics both inside and outside the church. As always, thank you so much for watching. I want to get this video started off with a very important message. This is going to be my last Thoughtful Thursdays video, at least for a long while. In a way, it feels pretty surreal right now. I don't think that I knew what I was getting into when I started this little video channel in my backyard, sitting on a 5-gallon bucket with earbuds in my ears. This is the 74th video and I'm done. It's not unlike that moment in Forrest Gump where Tom Hanks is running and he's running and he's running and there's a group of people that's following behind him and Bob Seger is playing Against the Wind in the background, and then he just realizes and he stops and he realizes he's done. I'm pretty tired. I think I'll go home now. That's where I am. I've said what I need to say. I've done what I wanted to do with this channel. I'm a person of faith. I'm a Jesus follower. I was a pastor in the evangelical church for years. I studied Hebrew. I studied Greek. My wife and I planted a church in Mexico. We were about as churchy, as Christian as you come. I was ordained a pastor in the church. I want to end this video channel by talking about the biggest hurdle that I see the church needing to overcome right now. It is a wrong that needs to be made right, and I cannot tell you with enough sincerity and honesty that we were wrong about LGBTQIA plus people. We were wrong. We got it wrong. And that's not new. I've been banging on that drum for quite a while now. However, this video is different. Today, I'm calling you to change your point of view, to change your practices, to change your giving. People in church vote with their feet and their money. If you have LGBTQIA plus people in your life, I can tell you right now, they are somewhat confused by your attendance in your church. It does not add up to them. And I can only imagine their thoughts that they are having thinking about you in your church. You tell me that you love me, you look me in the eyes, you smile at me, you talk about how Jesus is love, yet you think I'm going to spend an eternity in hell because of who I love, who I'm attracted to, or because I'm non-binary? And I think those people are right to have those questions because it doesn't add up. Friends, I've done the research so that you don't have to. I stand by my research. I stand on the videos that I've made on LGBTQIA plus people in the church. The theology is sound. There is a way to read the Bible and not have to believe that Jesus cast an entire group of beautiful people into hell for eternal conscious torment. I guess the question that needs to be asked is, why do people feel the need to believe that message? If there is a better way, if there is a more loving way, if there is a, dare I say, a more accurate way to read the Bible. Is it bigotry? Is it hatred? Is it just pure ignorance? Why do some people feel the need for the Bible to condemn this people group? Maybe there's a little bit of bias there that people aren't even thinking about. And for me, it's such a no-brainer. I almost feel like I don't have the time for it anymore. It's just such a task to remain patient over and over again with people who are stuck in their ways. And it's not because they're Hebrew or Greek scholars, but because they need the Bible to say something. They need the Bible to affirm this prejudice that they have. Friends, I'm going to come right out and say it to you. This isn't really a debatable issue. People try and make it that way. Well, I guess we're gonna just have to agree to disagree on this. We don't see eye to eye on this. That, for me, is not acceptable. Here's why. The people who are staunchly against my message in this video channel, in this extravagant love for other people, feel like they have to save people's souls from eternal damnation. They have to in some way save people from going to hell. And they do anything to save people from hell. I don't know how to say it any more clearly to you. You aren't saving anyone from hell by being against LGBTQIA plus people. However, you are making a living hell for people right here, right now on earth. People that I know and I love. If your goal is to save people from hell, stop making it a hell here on earth. Your agree to disagree on this one means that my friends and family members have a higher rate of suicide because you can't keep from saying things like, I just can't agree with their lifestyle. Your need to speak the truth in love makes it so that people who I love aren't safe anywhere they go, especially not inside a church. Because even if the pastor is sympathetic, warm and kind? Is that pastor going to side with the youth leader who is telling the teenagers that they're in some way less than God's perfect will, or they are sinful, or that they are going to hell? Your love isn't love if it excludes other people just because they are LGBTQIA+. The time to change is now. And I hear it all the time from people that I know. Look, Kyle, I agree with you, but I want to raise my kids. I want to raise my teens inside a church because they have a youth group. You want me to tell you who youth group isn't good for? LGBTQIA+ kids. It's no good for them at all. There is no space in the gospel to tell a beautiful teenager that they are somehow outside of God's will because of who they love. The gospel means good news, and that isn't good news. My friends, please let your pastors know that you don't want to be a part of a church whose stance on LGBTQIA+ people is anything short of full inclusion. I'm not talking about that old "we love everyone" trope that people say with a smile on their face. Can a transgender person become ordained in your church? Can your pastors officiate a gay wedding? Can a queer person preach a sermon in your church? That's what I'm talking about. And now to talk to my pastor friends. If your denomination or your association is anything less than fully inclusive, there is still time to change. When was the last time that you wrote a letter to your national leader explaining your position and a need for a change in the nation? I did. I wrote my national leader when I was actively pastoring in the church. And I know most people are like, well, I don't want to make waves because if people get mad, I might not have a job anymore. If my denomination knows about my position, they might kick me out. Trust me, I know perhaps more than anyone how much that sucks. But I kind of thought that we signed up to be followers of Jesus and not to just have financial security. I hear people saying all the time that they'd be willing to die for Jesus, but they don't want to talk about this issue because it might offend people. The Christianity that I see today just doesn't look a lot like the Jesus that I know and I love. Faith that people use to deny science, a faith that people use for political power to be a voting bloc, a faith that people use to deny women health care, a faith that says that two adults who love each other can't be together, a faith that people use to not get a vaccine, a faith that people use to storm into the Capitol in an act of terrorism. Those things are certainly something, but they don't look anything like Jesus to me. And I know that Christians aren't a monolithic block. Well, but I don't agree with everything you talked about on that list. Really? I can't hear you. I don't see you talking about that. Have you asked your pastors to speak up on those things? Are you putting pressure on them to stand up to hatred and anti-science rhetoric in the world? Do they just tell you that they don't want to wade into politics? It's too late. The church already made it political. You already waded into politics. I, for one, was tired of being silent, and I hope that you will be too. I'm going to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite late great leaders of the civil rights movement. John Lewis said, "My philosophy is very simple. When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, say something, do something, get in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble." It's funny because that saying looks a lot more like the Jesus that I know. That's very familiar to me. Friends, I'm asking you to get into good trouble on this one. For this video channel, for Thoughtful Thursdays, I wasn't very happy leaving the number of videos at 74. So to make it a more rounded number, I'm going to release my satire video commercial that I did on Parler right here as my 75th video as well. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for watching these videos. I have loved making them for you, and I am honored that you chose to watch them. This channel will still stay up. It will still be active. People can continue to search, and will continue to find these videos in their searches. Parents right now of gay teenagers are searching the internet, looking for hope, looking for answers. They will find these videos. Rather than words of condemnation, they will find words of life on this video channel. They will find good news. However, my road here on this channel has come to a close. Blessings and peace to all of you. Bye.